Hello! Welcome to the College Humor Podcast, the show where the folks who work here at College Humor just hang out a little bit, give you a little glimpse behind the scenes, have a little bit of fun. I am Mike Trapp. Today I am joined by...
Hi, I'm Eli Yudin. You might have seen me also on Table Pop, a different podcast on Dropout, where we play tabletop games for properties that shouldn't have a tabletop game. We've done Friends. We just did Twilight. That was...
Wow.
Yeah, and I was Greg the Swamp Thing. Because there's only really a vampire and a werewolf, so he had to add a swamp
some
thing.
extra monsters.
Yeah.
Probably one kicking around.
Yeah. You know he's there.
Yeah.
That's sort of where I took it, too. I don't want to spoil it, but I was like, I'm going to make a bold decision and say that I'm not interested in Bella, actually. I'm just kind of there at the school.
I am a Mormon, though.
Yeah.
It's important for you to know.
Mormon Swamp Thing. Yeah.
I've already been calling you Greg the Swamp Thing for
Oh,
years.
yeah.
So.
It's... no one will stop at the New York office and they throw algae at me. It's awful.
We're also joined by...
I'm Willie Muse, and I don't have a long explanation. I'm just here. So, hi.
Present. And we're also joined by...
Caldwell Tanner. You can find me on Cartoon Hell with my friends Nathan Yaffe, Jacob Andrews, and Julia Lepetit, as well as Not Another D&D podcast. Am I allowed to plug a non-College Humor property?
Say whatever you want.
Hell yeah. I'm doing it. I'm going rogue.
Do whatever you want, and then this whole half this episode will be bleeped. And another thing, I think.
I'll just wag my mouth and you can go ahead and bleep
Yeah.
it.
Just bad ADR.
I love Dropout. I'm telling all of my friends about it.
Dropout.tv. Not Another D&D podcast. You can get it on Podcast Store.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can get this on Podcast Store, too, wherever podcasts are
Go
sold.
to Podcast Store. Pick up podcast.
If you're listening to this and for some reason you're like, I want to see their hideous faces, you can subscribe to Dropout and you can watch it there, or you can watch it a little bit later on CH2.
I can make my mouth real wide.
Yeah. Show us.
Whoa.
This is terrible radio, but it's good for our video viewers.
It's like an eel. This
Yeah.
is nuts.
Fit a whole baseball in there, I'll bet.
You'll bet. One day I'll try.
One day.
That's your free solo, is getting a baseball in your mouth.
Yeah. You look up to that like Ripley's Believe It or Not, like guy with like all the billiards in his mouth, billiard balls in his mouth.
God,
Yeah.
my dream, one day, if only.
Yeah. Well, Eli, you are here despite the fact that you do not live here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Nerd.
What are you doing out here? Get out of here.
So much of me wants to just be like, I'm burying my brother.
Yeah.
But no,
Oh my! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
just on Slack. Hey, gonna be in LA for a couple days. Available mostly.
I'm down to hang or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm gonna be busy for like 2 hours when the service is, but otherwise, let's meet up.
He wanted his
when
ashes.
they're cranking the coffin down, just like, come on, crank a little faster.
Yeah.
He wanted his ashes spread at Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Yeah.
Not Twilight Zone
Just
Tower
me
of Terror.
and like the arc light, like shaking ashes around. Everyone's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, he wanted this. It's Endgame, right?
Specified the Cinerama Dome.
Yeah. No, I basically just like I have not been to LA. I have a lot of friends out here from like stand-up stuff, and then I got to use miles to fly here, and I felt like
shit.
Miles is the name of your captain pilot.
My little plane called Miles. No, I was like, oh, I have never done that before, and I felt like a real bussman. And then I sat in coach. And I did not.
I am so averse to any kind of like I know that it would be good for me to like, hey, keep track of points, use these miles and stuff like that. And I hate just keeping track. Like the act of keeping track of that stresses me out so much that I'm just like, no, whatever, fine, whatever, I'll buy it.
Are you kidding me?
They do take care of it for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to come in with like a spreadsheet and like, see? All
No,
of these
I've
bits?
known.
It's like a credit score that's only good. Like you look at your credit score and you get bummed, but like your flight miles, like those just go up.
The number only goes up.
It only goes up.
Until you use it, then it does go down.
Yeah.
Bittersweet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a fun little game that you can play with yourself.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot of adult things, really. Like, I learned a thing about talk about credit scores. I have one now. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I found out that if you...
Y'all heard about these?
Ooh, it's I'm not gonna like on a scale of 1 to 10. It's 10. No,
It's not a scale of 1 to 10. That's bad.
Wait, what?
That's really bad.
Oh no.
No.
But I didn't realize that this doesn't make any sense to me that if you close a credit card, it goes down.
Yeah.
So now I have a drawer of like with not like it's not full. I'm not like scammed like doing fraud.
You just have active credit cards that you're not
Dear
using.
God.
They're just I have credit cards with a zero balance that I can't get rid of because then my beautiful score will go down.
Right.
So I just have to like tuck them away. You know?
Yeah, you know the system's working because like that's definitely a more secure thing.
Yeah,
It's a more
yeah.
secure system that you have a drawer of active credit
Yeah.
cards that anyone can rush in.
Were you
and-
just buying hats or something? Like, what was
It was,
the...
I have a card for
Okay,
hats.
yeah.
I have a Lids card. The Lids
Lids loyalty
Amex.
card.
Yeah. No, it's a Lids Amex. It's platinum. It's like one of those metal cards.
I almost had like a meltdown last night because I have a Amazon credit card that I decided to pay, and I checked it, and I didn't look at it, and it just said $1,600 so and so dollars, and so I was like, when did I spend $1,600 on Amazon? But that was my available balance,
credit-
and so I was
credit limit?
I had a heart attack, and then I was like, okay, I owe $29, I'm good now.
I had a similar but even stupider version of the story where I Venmo'd someone last night, and then the receipt showed up in my inbox in the morning, and I was looking at it and I was like, oh shit, I gave someone $1,000 on accident. But then I realized that there was a crumb on my laptop screen. I thought it was a comma.
You were a complete mess in a completely different way. I didn't get drunk and give someone a bunch of money. I'm just have a filthy computer and I
No.
can't read numbers.
That's the base for a 90s, 80s hijinks
Yeah,
movie.
exactly.
Where it's like blank check, but it turns out it wasn't a blank check. It's like, oh, I only have $1,000.
Well, that's what I like about Venmo is that it's just the cash that you have on hand. So I couldn't Venmo someone $1,000 if I wanted to. I would just be like, no,
Venmo, just
go
shoot
fuck
it
yourself.
Would Venmo, because it takes a second for it to get to your bank, could you do that as a prank and then it just wouldn't cash?
Well, it just says you don't have this amount of money in your checking account. I have a thing that tells you how much money you have in your checking account. It just texts you and it has a little
Seems like a bummer.
it really is. No, I will. The one that I got today because I haven't.
Thanks for subscribing to Willie Facts. We only have the saddest fact about Willie, and it's every week.
So I got a text this morning that said, "Make your dreams come true. Your checking account balance is $0.00."
That is my dream,
Which-
to be free of this system.
It's just because for the record, I
I
have
am
not
gonna go eat,
transferred
pray, love
money into
myself.
that. But it was just hey, it might as well just said hey, fuck you, Willie.
Thank you for subscribing to our service.
I don't even know what the service is for.
Yeah,
I
it's
just get
for
little,
millionaires
yeah.
who just want to be still flush.
They also charge $100 a month.
I think it's one of those ones that takes a penny here and there and saves it for you, but I don't save money in that account very much anyway. So it's just here's no money.
Well,
Enjoy.
it's good that so many services are connected to your checking account. You don't know what they do.
I will.
You guys know how you have things that just take a couple pennies out of your account every once in a while?
Willie, why do you have Farmville attached to your checking account?
Because I have a really good thing of cranberries coming in.
Good yield.
That would be dark if those mobile games got to that level where it wasn't even a credit
shit.
card. It was what's your routing number?
Yeah. Wait,
Oh,
no,
I
I
am
take it
in.
back. That would rule if you could set up Pokemon Go so it's attached to your checking account, and every time you get a check or spend money, you get new Pokemon in there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Meowth.
based on the
It'd be a
number.
Meowth, right?
Yeah, I get a Alolan Meowth every time I go out for a burger. Hell yeah. That's the
You're
dream.
rewarded for spending by getting Pokemon.
Capitalism, baby. Right in my butt.
I do have the thing. So I'm very dumb, and I have the
You're going to find out that you are being actively defrauded by the end of this
No,
podcast.
okay, but this is just it makes me happy.
I have this service where I pay them $20 and they send me good vibes.
It
I have
makes
this
me
service where I pay a guy $100 a month or else his goons smash my shop.
No, okay,
Come in
this-
and break my bar.
This is just
disruptive.
something that makes me happy, and then I realize what happens, and it makes me less happy. But I have like Seamless, you can make it so that it rounds up the dollar and donates to a charity. And so every time I spend Seamless now, I get really excited because I'm like, it's exactly the dollar, like it's exactly $15, and I like clap, and then it's like, oh, I just donated money. That's why that is.
Oh, I'm a good person.
I thought you were excited that you didn't have to donate money because you were getting the perfect amount.
I was excited that it's a perfect zero. I was like, I'm spending the right amount of money on food that it's that.
Yeah. But then it turned out it was just a crumb on your screen. It was $500.
And I now owe Uncle Sam a whole lot.
Yeah, they want
Whole
that
lot of
money.
meows.
That was like I won't slander anything, but like I worked at a startup and it was one of those where I was like, I'm a full-time employee, and later they're like, you are not, after it got acquired. And so it was cool because I was like, oh yes, sorry to go, like sucks, I'd love to get unemployment. And they're like, you don't get unemployment. And I was like, cool. And they're like, also, you're a contractor. And I was like, okay. And then I owed, I believe, $7,500 in taxes.
Oh, yikes.
And I was like, I don't think me is worth that. Like, if I went to the hospital and was like, take everything, it would be like $6,000 maybe.
Yeah, could you get like an audit of yourself?
Oh,
Does you have like an auditor that comes to your house and like just kind of appraises your whole deal and is like, no, they don't need to pay that much.
If you could just find a doctor who's judgmental enough, that could maybe be. What are you doing? I wouldn't pay more than $2,000 for this.
If I thought my credit score was bad, my body audit would just be like, well, we're going to take this away from you. You've been not using this correctly.
We're going to put you in an iron lung for a year.
Just a head in a jar now.
Yeah.
But you're still like 5 feet tall somehow.
They wheel you around on like a big stand.
Yeah. How do we put this? Monster energy drink should be a luxury, not something you rely on. It's bad. No, it's great. I don't know.
What's your flavor?
Oh, dude, it sucks because my favorite flavor is Assault, and that's the name.
Excuse me?
It's Monster Assault.
No.
And the can is camo, and I don't like it, but the flavor is beautiful. And for a while, it was also the Call of Duty edition. And so it was a camo can with a Call of Duty guy on it, and I was just like, I'm just tired.
It's so fucking tight, man.
It was pretty sick. They also had a Gronk edition of Monster for a minute. It was just Monster with Gronk on it. That was great. Monster's doing a lot of stuff that
they got their hands in a lot of pies.
We don't respect enough.
You might as well just like be carrying around a sign that says "I am a douchebag."
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. I'm in like the library with a monster, just reading old literature, slamming Monster Assault.
This guy's an enigma.
I think for me, it's got to be either Monster falling downstairs, which is their raspberry flavor, or Monster getting caught masturbating.
Yeah. Those are both good.
Yeah, those solid flavors.
Yeah, most of them are just like crimes. It's just like Monster, patricide. And you're like, oh, okay. Like, very cool.
We should play on this podcast Monster Energy drink or federal or felony. You know, like,
the answer to all of them is both.
Yeah.
It's both.
Sick new monster mail theft.
the lamest felony.
I'm just surprised that energy drinks have flavors. I thought they were all the same flavor, and it was just like melted spree or whatever.
That is
Red
Red Bull.
That's what they
Red
all
Bull
taste
tastes
like.
like a Fruit Loops in a blender to me.
Yeah.
Like kind of Fruit Loop smoothie.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I love that flavor.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
like the flavor that's like time to go. It's any other flavor I feel like is a luxury to me, but when I drink that flavor, it's like this is pure effort in a can. Like this is not pleasure.
I'm not playing around.
I need that big boy energy. That's what I say when I go to the bodega.
Yeah, they know what you want.
Yeah.
You don't have a bodega out here?
No, I have there's a little bakery.
I got a guy. I got a guy I go to when I say I need that big boy energy, and he knows what I'm talking about.
You just force a friendship with the 7-Eleven guy. They're like, this is my bodega.
Yeah.
I brought a cat in here.
You beat me to it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I have a story about the last time I was on this office because I'm staying with the same person I stayed with last time, and they have a cat, wonderful cat, Dr. Funk. And so one of the things that Dr. Funk does is that she pisses on everything. And so I was visiting this office last time. Yeah, it's very funky. It's the funkiest thing you can do. So I was like visiting this office, and I had not met in person almost anyone in this office before because I usually work in New York. And I got up and I came to the office, and I got to the office sitting down and I was like, man, it really sure smells like cat pee a lot in here. And then it went
In
on.
this
and
office.
yeah.
I can't believe how this office is constantly smelling of cat piss.
Slacking New York. Like, the LA office smells like cat piss. Okay. But it keeps going, and I'm like, I'm staying somewhere with a cat. And I realized that, like, in my grogginess, the Dr. Funk had just whetted my jeans thoroughly. And, like, my jeans just, like, reek of cat piss. I don't know anyone here, so I'm just like, New York guy working at an empty table that reeks of cat piss. And I didn't know what to do, so I just panicked and went to Target and bought new pants and came back with new pants on. And was like, hey, it's me, Two Pants Eli from New York.
That's a solid strat.
Yeah.
I think you could play that off as like a New York thing. It's like it's kind of an East Coast thing.
Yeah.
We like do like 2 Pants Tuesdays, you know.
I thought you were
switch it up.
saying
I think
being
any-
covered in cat piss. was a-
Yeah, that also kind of
Which
does
I
work.
think
That makes
could
more
do.
sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I think anyone who was perceptive enough to notice that you switched pants in the middle of the day would probably also have been perceptive enough to realize that you smelled like cat
Cat
piss
piss.
for the first half of the day. It would have been like, you know
Yeah.
what? He made a good move here. I don't know.
No one notices what people. No one has noticed that I'm wearing a belt and a tie instead of a belt. I don't think,
I did notice that.
or no socks. And
I did not
also
notice that.
have,
Caldwell's just like, I did notice that. I thought it was some sort of
my
mistake.
shirt is just me with Dora the Explorer,
Yeah,
and
you
I
can
feel
see
like
this shirt if you subscribe.
yeah, subscribe to
Wow.
Dropout. But no one. I mean, I feel like no one. Maybe I'm just living in a fantasy world where everyone's just like talking about me behind my back.
Did you see Willie's belt? It wasn't a belt at all.
I mean, yeah, I do like a full like Sherlock deep dive into every person that I meet.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
like, you know, fingernails slightly cuffed around the edges.
Oh, the whole going around your head.
Yeah, like a lot of text.
Your mind palace.
People can see the text though, which is weird.
Yeah, it really it makes you seem less mysterious when they can see all the pieces you're putting together.
2 plus 2
How's it
equals
doing that?
4.
I just have like a whiteboard. It's not like it's like floating or anything.
Are you analyzing what my clothes are made of? I can see it says cotton and polyester right there. It's
You were at a
floating around.
graveyard recently, weren't you?
Hey, don't take this. Don't put that on me. You're up to something.
I'll bet if we go into your closet right now, we'll find something very interesting.
I wish I could remember who it was to like credit them, but there's like a very good tweet that's that, which is like Sherlock and his mind palace, but it's all just different misspellings of the word penis. And he's like, oh no, wrong. Oh,
Pingus.
Penguins. Yeah.
How did you put on wet pants
Yeah.
and not notice
No,
how wet they were?
They were dry. The piss had dried.
Okay.
It was I had more than one pair of pants, not to sound
Wow,
like,
fancy
not to
man.
sound like a
Fancy
king.
man, Eli.
But so it had dried. They'd like been on the floor, and then it wasn't actually wet. I mean, how far do we want to go into this? It was like the smell is overwhelming, and then it was like more of that kind of like hard. I was like, a hard.
I
patch.
have a crispy.
Yeah, a little ammonia patch for me on my jeans, and then those pants are no more. Dr. Funk. It just took me right
Those
out
are
of
Dr.
them.
Funk's pants now.
I got sprayed by a skunk while I was out here. I was like, there was like this one evening where it was like, hey, like. I finished a bunch of stuff. I got a couple little errands to run. I'm just gonna just take care of some business and like put in some headphones. Walked out of my apartment. Got to the end of the
love that
block.
walk.
This is how I was walking.
Yeah.
It was really like, hey, look at me, I'm responsible. And
Skunk was like, look at this asshole.
and my old apartment was right by this like abandoned lot, and I walked past it and like got a few feet past, and I was like, I like felt something wet against my leg, and my initial thought was like, I brushed against some grass and it was dewy, and like that just happens. You get a little, it's just wet, and then, like my brain slowly working in the background. It's like, it's 8 p.m. There's no dew on this ground. Why would there be dew?
minute.
Did something happen? And I turned around and there was a skunk right in the middle of the sidewalk that was just like doing this like aggressive push-ups at me. And it must have like hissed or something before I know, and like just I had music playing so I didn't hear it at all. And I went through this weird like thing of denial because I so didn't want to have been sprayed by a skunk that it was just like, maybe just spit on me. Maybe it's just
piss.
Maybe it's just piss. It could just be piss. Like that's fine. And like truly tried to like keep walking a little farther to the pharmacy before I was like, no. No, this is skunk spray. And I spent the rest of the evening with like 1 foot in the tub.
Tomato juice?
Well, no, and then it was like a phone in one hand, and it was just Googling like skunk remedies, and then like pouring stuff on my legs.
Skunk
like,
foot, no more how.
Yeah,
please, urgent.
Please help skunk foot. And it was just like so many things. Just like tomato juice, like no, tomato juice just covers up the smell because tomatoes smell very strongly of tomatoes. That's not what you want to do. And it was like that episode of The Simpsons where they're putting everything in Lisa's hair to get the gum out.
The gum,
it was just that. It was like hydrogen peroxide, no. Baking soda, no. Vinegar, that doesn't do anything.
You actually have to use
dish soap, doesn't do anything.
You actually have to use Monster Double Homicide.
Yeah. Monster gets it off.
That's
I
at
like
least-
that's how tomato juice works, though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Didn't think that tomato juice, like, of anything smelled that strongly of itself. Like,
Yeah,
I can't
is
think
it-
of what a tomato smells like to save my life.
I guess if you have enough to make
Umami.
a bathtub full of tomato, then you've got that. It smells like a nice marinara sauce.
Yeah, I mean, but like, couldn't you just say like,
Yeah, it's like being
Onions
like
or something?
Yeah, the solution to skunk spray is like Draquois Noir.
Yeah.
Just like just a ton of like Davidoff cool water actually covers it up. Just Axe body spray.
at least it's
Have
just
you
like
ever-
a test patch of your leg though. Like it wasn't your whole body.
No, it got and it was summer, so I was wearing shorts, which it got like a little. So most of the spray was just on the one leg, and a little bit was on the shorts. And like you could see on the shorts, it's like, oh, this is fucking disgusting because it's like greasy. It's like part of the reason it's hard to get off is because it's like a fat based spray.
from the gland.
From the gland. So it's like and it just like it
fat-based.
totally like stained the. It was like these shorts. They were brand new. It's like, well, these are dead. They're gone.
Oh,
like
God.
there's nothing I can do about this.
Have you? Is that the only time you've ever been sprayed?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually smelt a skunk spray.
What?
Smells like weed.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. That's what they all say. I guess like I don't know. I've never. Actually, I don't know why. I was like, yeah,
You know
that
what?
actually
That's
happens.
what we're gonna do tonight, bud. We're gonna go.
Bring it
We're
in.
gonna hit the town. We're gonna get you a
Yeah.
skunk, man. We're not leaving until you get sprayed by a skunk.
Yeah,
Sometimes-
the new dropouts are just me getting sprayed in the face by a skunk, just doing push-ups like, oh god.
I feel really badly though because my first thought when you told that story was like the fact that it was like you didn't realize that you pissed the skunk off felt like you kind of like missed your opportunity to like screw with a skunk. Like you got sprayed. And you didn't even get to,
It's like I
fuck
didn't
with
get
the
that
skunk.
much of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't get to like punch it in the face.
Yeah.
And then, like,
If I'm gonna get
earn it.
sprayed, I should deserve it.
Yeah.
I like how
get
much of I like how much of a 180 it did from what your theory was, which was like the beginning of a fantasy novel. You're like, surely a couple droplets of dew simply brushed my ankle, and then it's like, oh, an animal squirted glands at me. I mean, real hard.
You coming to the realization it's too early for dew.
And then
It's
I had
not
all the
dusk.
Sherlock letters like flying around. Drew. Well, we should probably move on to our next segment.
Yeah.
here. Why don't we do let's do our game next. That sounds fun. Willie, do you wanna kick us off here and like, maybe like we'll pass these around and you know,
card.
or maybe like do one and then
Oh yeah, just pass it around.
Pass it around?
Yeah.
Okay, why don't I just, do one and then pass it around. So we're playing Cocktail or Crime Fiction by best-selling author Michael Connolly.
Okay.
That old chestnut. So,
Is that the guy that's like always advertised on the subway?
I'm not familiar with his oeuvre.
I feel like it's like a real airport book, right?
Yeah, I mean these are the airport kings.
Yeah.
like Harlan.
Yeah.
Harlan Coben.
Knockoff
fucking
Cusslers.
Michael Connolly. Ooh, my mom loves.
Your Grishams.
You mentioned Clive Cussler on Laura Yudin. You got an earful. She's got.
She thrives
What's
on
that guy?
Clive.
Dirk
Pitt.
Dirk Pitt.
Yeah.
I say Dirk Diggler. Different thing. Hopefully, my mom is not as much of a fan.
are you trying to say Dark Pit?
No, Dirk Pitt from
Dirk Pitt's a person?
Dirk
Yeah.
Pitt is my favorite Smash Brothers.
All right.
He's in the new fighter pack.
Dirk Pitt.
My favorite. Okay.
It's Boomhauer playing Smash. Oh, put on Dirk Pitt. Put on Battlefield mode, man. Items, please.
All right. So you guys' first question, Cocktail or Crime Fiction by novel by best-selling author Michael Connolly is 9 Dragons.
I'm going. Should we just go around?
Yeah, sure. You seem like you've got an opinion right off the
I feel
bat.
like I'm going bestseller.
Okay. What's leading to that conclusion?
It just that 9 dragons implies 9 ingredients.
Yeah,
that's
it's
a lot of ingredients for a cocktail.
Yeah.
It's mixology.
Yeah,
It's true.
Maybe each ingredient is 3 dragons. You know, maybe it's like
I see.
Maybe it's like you get 3 olives vodka and something else.
3 Olives vodka. One of the only vodkas to have a Mountain Dew flavored vodka.
Oh yeah.
Man,
terrifying.
you've got your finger on the pulse of trashy flavors.
Yeah. I grew up under the boardwalk in Ocean City, Maryland. And all this. Yeah. Speaking of which, I was at a bar here in LA last night, and a guy ordered a glass of egg whites.
Just the whites.
Ew.
Just the whites.
Hey.
Was he like in a montage of some sort? Or-
Yeah,
I don't know what was-
training?
Mid montage.
There were a lot of people that seemed to be at a bar for the first time, because there's another guy who was asking for to try liquors.
Oh.
Oh, like an
Like
ice
a-
cream shop? Or
yeah,
he's
like
"Hey, can I-
Baskin Robbins."
Can I try the tequila? I don't know. What is that?
Little spoon, like,
Yeah. It's good. It's
I was
good.
just like, okay.
That would be an awesome like workaround. That's like
Yeah.
really easy way to get drunk. Is just
Yeah.
like Baskin Robbins spoons of.
Was the bartender like, what about the yolks? And he's like, don't want them.
Well, the egg whites were they were like a fancy, so they had stuff with egg whites in it, you know,
Gotcha.
like French 75s or whatever it is. But
The whites.
I think he'd just given up completely. He was just like, yeah, whatever you want. He was like, I'll spit in a glass. Just get the fuck out of here.
You fucking freak.
But I'm sorry, Nine
What we
Dragons.
got?
I'm gonna say, yeah. I think Nine Dragons is also a book. I could see that being a sort of like, you know, heads of crime families
Yeah.
or something like that.
Offensive
or-
portrayal of Chinese crime.
Maybe. I mean, look, dragons can come from anywhere, but probably an offensive portrayal. Sure, yeah.
I'm gonna go cocktail. I feel like this is one of these like mixology cocktails. It's got some bullshit spicy thing in it, which is why it's called Dragons.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's also like it is one of those like weird, like you're like, this isn't like offensive, but it's like the name of like an Asian fusion drink at a bar where you're like, all right, like calm down.
Yeah.
Borderline.
Like they don't want to say Singapore sling anymore, so they're like, it's the Nine Dragons
Yeah.
or whatever.
That's better.
Yeah.
We're not officially calling out the place.
Yeah.
right.
Tiki bars, I don't think that is one place that has managed to evade the like wave of making sure that everything looks good, because you still get stuff in like mugs that are just a racist caricature
Yeah.
of someone. And you're like, cool.
You're like, oh, I saw this in a World War II propaganda poster. Now I'm drinking a sweet cocktail.
Yeah.
What we got?
I'll go cocktail too, and it's a novel. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
After what seems like a routine murder investigation, LAPD detective Harry Bosch finds himself in Hong Kong, facing
this
the highest stakes case of his life, bringing his kidnapped daughter home.
We just made the same face because
Yeah.
we're like, it's fucking Bosch!
Yeah, I saw those on the subway was filthy with Bosch.
Yeah.
It was everywhere, and he's just like an old detective with full sleeves, and that's like seems to be his main thing.
Just
full sleeves.
lousy with Bosch.
Huge watch, like massive watch. That also, why did I went from a routine murder investigation to his daughter getting kidnapped?
Yeah, it's kind of like crossing the streams a little bit, right?
I don't know if you're
Was that, like,
investigating my
related to the
murder,
murder?
and
Yeah,
kidnap
yeah.
your daughter to
Oh, I
throw
guess
you
that
off the
makes sense.
trail.
Willie knows what's up.
Yeah,
Sure.
done it many times.
I got a next one. This is a good one.
Okay.
This is a dinger of hum. Sand in the crack.
That's got to be a cocktail.
Yeah, it thinks it's very funny, and that sounds cocktail.
That's one. That's one
Right.
of those like it's like get me a blowjob, get me a get me 5 dirty sluts on a log, like one of those like
I'll have a Dr. Funk.
Yeah, that would be a good cocktail.
Yeah.
But that's actually like genius of bars, because that's how they make money off of assholes, is they just name stuff like buttery nipple, and someone's
Yep.
like, I'll have that, and they're like, you just paid $6 for like butterscotch.
Yeah.
Like it's like the cheapest thing we have.
I bought like all you can eat sushi, so you just like check things off, and there's something called a sensual roll, and I was just like, I'm gonna get it just to see what it is, because I have to pay for it, and it was just like a jalapeno popper inside of rice, and I don't like jalapenos, so my boyfriend had to eat all of it because I was not having it, and he was not happy with me.
was it sensual?
Yeah.
It was the
Was
whatever
watching your boyfriend eat
sensual,
that
yeah,
jalapeno popper? How would you rate it?
cream cheese melting down his face.
The most sensual spread.
We broke up right there and then.
Yeah.
Lukewarm rice and hot cheese.
I think. Wait, do you guys have guesses? I feel like it's some sort of like twisted margarita. It's some fucked up margarita.
Oh yeah, like a play on the Sex on the Beach. 'Cause
Oh,
it's like sand in the crack.
Sand in the
kinda.
crack. It's like a gross Sex on the Beach.
Yeah,
Maybe it's like a frozen and it's got like a Corona shoved in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
that has a name that I think is offensive.
I thought they were like bulldogs, maybe.
I've only seen it advertised as a Mexican car crash, which seems, I don't even know if that's offensive. It's just weird.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't love it.
Unpleasant.
It does sound like a weird, like, attempt at racism where you just don't know what you're even like.
It's also weird to imagine, like, if this were a crime novel, like it's like we're reading a serious crime novel. It's called Sand in the Crack.
Sand in the Crack.
It's based on a true story from my life when I was working the beat. Yeah. It's one of the most grisly murders I ever saw.
Yeah. It's also like, it's like a clue. It's like there's sand in the crack. It's like, he's on the beach. It's not like that much of a lead.
It's an
like,
autopsy.
No.
They're just pulling apart his ass cheek. There's
So
sand in the
much
crack.
sand.
You broke this case and his ass wide open.
He didn't die in the factory. He died on the beach. He was moved.
I'm going to go crime novel just because I really hope it is.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, here we go. It is a cocktail, of course.
Yeah.
The cousin to a sex on the beach.
That
There
was
you go.
more you.
What's
I
a
took
sex
credit
on
for
the
it.
beach?
It's one of the good ones. You know, those are really good. That's
the good
secret.
ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones that nobody will drink because it sounds bad, but it's like great. It's like cranberry juice. It tastes great.
It's
Okay.
cranberry juice, pineapple juice, and coconut rum. Sounds delicious.
That
Yeah, it's
sounds like I would get really mean on those.
How many of those would you have to drink before you called it like a sand in my ass?
Like one. I'm not a good drinker.
Sandy asshole.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to do another one?
Yeah.
There you go.
Pass
Pass
it
it on down.
All right.
This one's tricky.
Ooh, Angel's Flight.
Angels.
Can it be a flight? What if it's an actual?
Yeah.
Yeah, is both an answer?
Oh, there's got to be a both in there.
There must be.
Yeah. If not, we should make a.
I veer towards crime novel, but only there is a downtown LA. There's a funicular, which is what it was, just like little railway that just runs uphill between the thing that it's called Angel's Flight.
I know what those are called.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there were if it were trying to be like a gritty LA LA story that takes place around there maybe, and is also just sort of playing in this sort of wow, they call it the city of angels, but all I see are devils kind of thing.
I love the next one's just the Black Dahlia murder. I think that is a crime.
Well, Bosch wouldn't be investigating the Black Dahlia murder.
We got to go back in time.
You got to put yourself into Bosch's head.
Time. That's what his big fucking watch is for. It cranks it up. And goes
It's
out.
Bosch in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bosch to the future.
Thank you.
We did it.
We did it.
I don't Angel's Flight. Yeah, I feel like I can see the book cover in my head, and it's it's kind of like a chalky angel's outline. Maybe with a
very
murder
good.
outline, but then there's wings around it.
And then spatters of blood.
Yeah, and it's got a million little gold medals pressed onto it for Norway's best thriller 2019.
The Gransky Prize.
yeah.
Made that up.
I gotta say, I don't think it could be a drink. I'm gonna go Michael Connelly's a book by best-selling author Michael Connelly.
I'm gonna go a drink, and it's made with one of those bullshit vodkas that's Angel's Food Cake or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
like a flavor, like a flavored vodka. But it's what flavor are you? What are we doing? Is that
also-
sweet? Just sweet?
It could also be the Angel's Share bourbon, which is
yeah.
the evaporated bourbon that there's a whole thing, and then they have the Devil's Cut. They distillers are crazy. They're going nuts over there.
More power to them.
I'm going to go drink because I have not gotten a point yet, and I can't win, so I want to see if I can get no points.
Got it. You're
score?
going. You're
I
trying to
am.
shoot the moon in hearts.
Yeah.
It's if I just get them all. All right, let's see. This is a novel. An activist attorney is killed in a cute little LA trolley, but the case is so explosive, and the dead man's enemies inside the LAPD are so numerous that it falls to Harry to solve it.
So you've
Nailed that one.
Yeah.
Is Bosch's first name Harry?
Harry Bosch.
Bosch?
Which
That
does sound
sounds
like a drink.
Do you guys remember that thing, the snowman? The guy's
Harry
name in
Hole?
the snowman is Harry Hole.
Detective
Yeah.
Harry Hole.
Yeah.
They made a whole movie and book series, and nobody called them on that.
Yeah.
Well, the book.
Harry Hole.
I
That's
think
it.
the
yeah.
book was it's Harry Hula, and then
Yeah.
they
Oh.
Americanized it for some reason, as opposed to just keeping it Hula or whatever.
We could have just gone Hool.
Yeah. Or just
Yeah.
Just call him Harry.
Yeah. It's so good.
Detective Anus.
We promise you, we are turning over every rock and stone. We will spare nothing to find your child. In charge of the cases, this is Harry Hole. Harry. He's big, so we call him Big Harry Hole around here.
And his partner, Detective Penis Shaft.
Yeah.
To be fair, the guy who solved the Golden State Killer case was named Paul Holes, which is close.
Paul Hole.
Yeah, but
Paul
Paul
Hole.
isn't
I know,
an adjective.
but there are many of them. Holes.
There are many holes out there.
I've never heard the name Holes until.
Yeah, that's because when they came across on Ellis Island, they were holes.
Yeah.
They were that was their job, was to be a hole.
Right. They were from Holland.
Yeah. Yeah. The holes. Proud people. Yeah.
I hate you so much, Caldwell.
The next one, this one is Missionary's Downfall.
That one could be naughty, or it could be like you
Or
know,
it could be nice.
That's
yeah, it could be naughty, could be nice. Hard to
both.
tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know which one to fake guess.
I think that's
I think
probably.
it's-
Go ahead.
I think it's a drink because it sounds like there's that like genre of drink names where it's like there's a whole chain.
Eli's Lament.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's one of those. There's like a whole chain of bars in New York that are named different euphemisms for like falling off the wagon. One of them's called off the wagon. It's always been like, this seems insensitive.
Yeah.
Not my favorite.
It's also like all speakeasy cocktails have the same naming convention as like a Fall Out Boy song, where it's
Yeah.
like a very long title
Yeah.
and then a parenthesis with more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like Godspeed You Black, like rum or whatever.
Yeah. Swizzle round the top, like my darling, my darling.
Yeah. I want to make a fake bartending tool that's just like a bellows and then no explanation of what it is, just make bars buy it. So they're like, I think this bellows, I don't know what drink this is for. But
Oh yeah, for like a flavored puff on top.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And foam.
This is sort of tying a couple things together, but like while you're here, you should go to the Tiki Tea, which is a tiki bar.
Oh, yeah?
Down there. But if you want like a bunch of like crazy weird stuff going on, like there are things that you can order. It's just like it doesn't say it on there, but it's like, oh, you ordered that drink. That means it's time for a little mechanical bull
Yes.
to march across the bar,
Let
and
him
literally
sit.
everyone in the bar goes Toro, Toro, Toro. It's like, what the hell is happening here?
That's
That
like,
place is wild.
It's like one of those ones like in Russian bars. There's all these videos of like a drink that if you order it, it's like they put a helmet on you and like hit you with a hammer and then like slap you, and then they throw you off a crane or
Said
whatever.
the magic word.
They're on another level over there.
I'm gonna say that this is a novel, but I do think this is the one I'm most conflicted about so far, because I could see that missionary that being one of these sort of either like downer drinks or being a sort of like I don't know. Yeah.
I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it's a drink because I don't know what Bosch would be doing hanging around missionaries, so I will guess missionary to keep my streak going. Missionary. Wait, no.
Yeah, we're guessing
Novel.
we're guessing
You're going
novel,
novel.
drink
All right.
or missionary.
Is it Bosch or Nosh, Willie? That actually makes sense almost. Yeah.
I think it's a drink because I'm picturing it having like a little communion wafer on top of it.
Oh yeah.
That they like kind of like precariously balance on the drink, and then it instantly falls in, and you're like, oh shit, now my drink is kind of.
This drink is made with rum, seltzer, and a communion wafer that turns into the body of Christ.
Wow, it's
Wafer and
substantiates
wine,
right before me.
The
Onion
classic
wafers
altar boy
taste
drink.
good. Are they
They
good?
taste kind of like matzah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
That seems weird. Jewish,
'cause they
never
are.
had one.
That's-
I would love
yeah.
to have a communion wafer.
Communion
Someone-
wafers? No. I mean, I used to eat them a bunch because they were like.
Oh, Willie got in the wafers again.
As a former Catholic, I had many a wafer, and they were tasty. They were like it was like a treat to tide you over until donuts until afterwards.
It's true.
Yeah.
But
I guess they just sell them in boxes. I'm sorry, that's quite a tangent.
It's like-
Missionary's Downfall is a cocktail.
Yes.
White rum, pineapple juice.
Yeah.
A lot of pineapple juice. Do you want to keep doing the game?
We've all done one. Should we?
We have all done one, and we're moving through this. We're running out of time, so we should move on to the next thing. So
right.
we're gonna do a little rejected sketch theater. This is a
Great.
sketch that Caldwell, when you were here, we
Yeah.
worked on together, and it never got made.
I don't know why.
It has a number of things wrong with it, but we'll go ahead and we'll distribute this, and
Is there enough copies for all of us to play a part?
There might be. Let's see. There's a role for me. There's a role for you. There's of course Valerie, and then there's stage directions as well as maybe some other folks, or is it just us?
A Zach. I can be Zach.
Great.
All right.
I mean, I'm Valerie.
Do you want to be?
Yes. Do you want? I can be Valerie.
I'll
too.
be Valerie.
And I'll do stage.
I'll be honest, I probably sound the most like a Valerie.
Well, Valerie, I guess we should say is
A computer woman.
yeah.
That's the vibe I'm going for.
I forgot that's what you call robots.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
That's I pull out my phone and say, "Computer woman,
yeah.
where is ramen?"
Yeah. Weather, what is?
Yeah, I think if you read it like a Siri, maybe it's kind of the vibe.
Okay. Doesn't Siri just talk like a normal person?
Yeah, a normal person, or like Siri talks like a computer that's trying their best to be a person.
That's how I talk naturally.
It's the role of a lifetime.
That's the part I was born to play, baby.
There we go.
All right, I'll do Uncanny Valerie by Mike Trapp and Caldwell Tanner.
Oh.
Interior office day. Caldwell draws the most detailed penis ever. Trapp enters.
Hey, is the internet working today?
Nope.
Okay, see ya.
Trapp turns to leave. Valerie, quote, walks by. She is a poorly computer-animated woman. She has a weird spider walk and her feet never touch the ground. As she passes, her head turns just a little too much. Her body stays the same direction.
Good morning.
Trapp stares as she walks away, turns to Caldwell.
Who's that?
Oh, that's Valerie. She works in IT. She's fixing the internet.
Cool.
He glances back at Valerie. She stretches her arms to grab a cup of coffee from a table 10 feet away. She unhinges her jaw like a snake and pours a granular particle mist of coffee into her mouth.
Java.
So we hired someone from the Uncanny Valley. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it is cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Why are you saying it like that?
Cut back to Valerie. She's partially turned away from us, typing on an old, very square computer. Her head slowly turns towards us, an unchanging, smiling face. She winks too big and too slow, all upper lid.
I'm not prejudiced or anything. I don't know. Like looking at her just makes me like a little uncomfortable.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like you don't feel just like a little weirded out by the fact that she's a near but flawed approximation of humanity.
Trapp, that is so ignorant.
Look at her eyes.
Cut to Valerie.
Brr. It's cold in here.
Her face disappears for a few seconds, leaving only perfectly spherical eyes and chattering teeth. Close on gnashing teeth.
They're beautiful. What's your point?
I'm just stating facts. Okay, she's clearly from the Uncanny Valley, which we all know is a buggy part of town.
That is a coded phrase.
Yes, she's coded poorly. Look at her.
Cut to Valerie. She's talking on the phone. We pull out to reveal her head and phone hand are perfectly still, but the rest of her body is flailing like a rag doll.
I told you not to call me here, Anthony.
Look, I'm sure it's normal where she's from to glitch out, and it's not her fault. She clearly just wasn't rendered properly.
Caldwell is disgusted.
But this is a professional workspace, and the way you interact with others in 3D space is important.
The problem isn't with them. It's with you. If you're uncomfortable with uncanny people, maybe you're the uncanny one.
Cut to Valerie.
The internet is back, everyone. Time for lunch.
She slowly lifts a 2 geometric ice cream cone up to her mouth. Her tongue slops out inhumanly. It picks up speed until just a blur of a waggling tongue. The ice cream keeps its shape until the very end when half of it disappears.
No, that's so wrong.
Cut back to Valerie. Her ice cream is on fire. Parenthesis, with a low-rendered N64 GoldenEye flame. The flame SFX are way too loud.
Just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong. Now look, she's walking over here.
Oh, no.
No, I want you to have a conversation with her. Treat her like a person.
Valerie walks through Trapp and stands in the middle of the desk. Trapp screams.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Trapp never grew up around people from the Uncanny Valley.
She was inside me.
It's okay. I deal with it every day. It's the sorry state of America.
She touched my soul.
His nose is bleeding.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to.
Caldwell touches her shoulder. She immediately falls through the floor.
Oh shit, she clipped.
End. Post, huh? Valerie falls halfway through the floor, stuck in between. Zach below with the coffee. Oh, hey, Valerie. How was your weekend?
Yeah.
So yeah, again, flawless.
Did anyone get the sense that Sketch Caldwell kind of wanted to fuck Valerie?
Yeah,
the way that was written.
I liked when Sketch Caldwell turned like very mean. And it was like, really, it's like, yes, she's here and she's my wife.
Right, yeah, well, like in the series, because I was pitching this as like, you know, like a 12-parter, eventually we would have gotten married, and then we would have had like hybrid, uncanny children.
Yeah, this was just your way of like slowly introducing your e-wife into the workplace. Like, you guys remember
Yeah.
Yeah.
Within the world,
I love my beautiful EY. I love my curvy EY.
Yeah. My angular E-Wave.
3 polygons.
you
all I
do.
need.
You do at one point call her eyes beautiful, which is the part that really stuck out to me. Like, there's a.
Was it the eyes or the teeth? I
It
think
was
it's
the
supposed
teeth. It was the chattering teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like this. This had the biggest thing here was that it was just like we were never we're never able to like animate this, and this initially came from a thing that like one of the first things I pitched when I got here was a tourism video for the Uncanny Valley, where it's like, come visit the beautiful Uncanny Valley, and then it was just like everyone was like ostensibly happy, but it was all just like real background footage, real environments, but then just like computer generated people like biking through, but like not touching the bike seat, and just like, slowly turning to like kind of smile at like straight at camera, just be this like deeply upsetting thing, and then like you can't do that. It's like, well, what if it was just one person?
Yeah.
But I think we also run into issues here of like one, it's like I am playing a character who's like very racist, but at the same time, this is like the Uncanny Valley is a thing that like that people do get like weirded out about. So it's like I should be the character in the wrong here because I'm being very racist. But at the same time, we're seeing things that are upsetting. So it's like so it runs this weird thing. It's like, this isn't a defense of racism. There's this very like confused thing about it where it's like trying to do two things at once. I think it gets a little muddled.
It would be like you being like xenophobic towards people from like Silent Hill. They're bad. It's like, the blood nurses are fine. Like, we don't need to be friends with them.
Just because his head is a pyramid doesn't mean he's a bad person.
It's the bright of its time.
I really enjoyed page 3. Now you got to get Dropout so you can see what page you're looking at, where almost all of this feels like it could have been pulled straight out of like the movie Hackers. This whole, look, I'm sure it's normal where she's from to glitch out. Like, this is so deep. Like, just Matt Lillard with the like,
just like slowly putting on my fingerless gloves as we're talking.
Yeah.
Well, Matt Lillard was going to play Valerie in the original.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That was our goal.
There was a thing here where we kept like running into things too where we were like in conversations about like, it's like, well, would we even be able to do this? Would we be able to animate it? And it was always sort of like, it was this constant back and forth of like, no, we definitely can't afford this animation. And it's like, you recognize we want it to be really bad, right? Yeah. And it's like, yeah, but like still bad. And like you run into this thing where it's like, do you understand how bad I want this to be? Like maybe you do, and the answer is still no, but maybe you don't. Yeah. And then we have a failure to communicate here.
Yeah, I feel like it like horseshoes around where like to make it that bad is actually a skill.
Yeah. Well, if it's like making like a bad movie on purpose. You kind of got to capture the like. The je ne sais quoi of it. Like, you'd have to, like, hire just, like, the worst animator you could find and just be like, make this as good as you can.
Yeah.
You just needed Fiverr to be around when you made this. So you could just pay someone $5, just undercut the entire, like, craft of animation. Just pay someone in, like, Minsk to do it.
$5 to the animator and then $5 to a freelance writer to make it less racist.
Yeah, I think you mean a consulting producer? I don't know all the lingo. But,
the message is definitely a little muddy. Looking back. And I think it's good that we didn't make this.
There you go.
Valerie is, in a way, trapped in this script forever.
Yeah.
Your beautiful wife.
I do wish the Valerie was real, though.
Sure.
That's clear.
You just want to marry Valerie.
I don't want to marry her. I want to have a tryst with her.
All right.
I want to cheat on my wife with her.
Well, okay. Well, I can support that. Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, Caldwell, stop trying to play Marry Fuck Kill with Valerie every time you see anyone. Hey, Marry Fuck Kill, that woman Valerie from the sketch I wrote.
You remember. I told you about it.
It's in your wallet, folded up real small. You remember the sketch.
Yeah. There's a, like, you already pointed this out, but like when you were like, it's like, yes, her eyes are beautiful. It's like such a fun thing to be like defending, like being like, hey, you're being racist against our coworker. So I'm going to comment on her appearance as like as a defense of that. It's like, I think you're a bad person too.
Yeah.
No one comes out looking great in this sketch. Except
Zach.
It's like racism versus like fetishization in this, but this is written in like 2005 or something. Like way back. Who knows?
What was this, 2015?
Oh yeah. Well, that's the 2005 of the 2010s.
Yeah.
It's 2015.
Yeah.
Well,
They say.
I've learned, I've grown.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we do some
hell?
audience questions here? Everyone's shocked because I did an incredible magic trick
Do you have
here.
those in a holster? Crossbody?
That was some Bosch.
Yeah,
Right there.
I'm doing incredible magic tricks right now. There's like flowers appearing and doves flying out. Here's a question from the Discord. If you want to get on the Discord, you want to ask us a question, you're gonna have to subscribe to Dropout. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. This is a little bit of a long question, but I'll read the whole thing and just kind of throw it out to whoever wants to answer
It's a bad
first.
question. I will ban them.
Yeah.
in Discord.
As comedians, how has your personal perspective on comedy, or really any form of art in general, changed with your growth? What things have you come to appreciate so much more now that you know what you know? Or vice versa, what things do you disdain now that you know what you know?
Disdain.
Personally, I've always been curious about this as a musician. My taste and appreciation for music have drastically changed since getting into it, and that level of engagement has spread to my love of film, TV, and games. I would love to hear others' experiences on it. So essentially, like, after doing comedy for a while, how have your opinions on comedy changed?
For the worst.
Yeah, I was like, we're all just like, good question.
Like my first thing when I heard disdain, I was just like, other comedians.
It's, I don't know, like, I feel like I may have, like, I got in this discussion on the Discord before, but it's like, I find it very hard to watch comedy anymore. So it really is, unfortunately, sort of like a ruining it for yourself thing for me. Like stand-up especially, I haven't watched a special and like...
Do you mean because you spend so much time like analyzing it and dissecting it, or just because you see how you know how the magic works, so it's not as magical for you anymore?
I can't shut my brain off watching to like things that to like stop not analyze it.
Yeah.
Like I went to that, I was going by like UCB Sunset and there was a show last night. I went to hang out and like I saw that line of people that were lined up 30 minutes before a stand-up show and were excited, and I was just like, have not felt that in years. Like the idea of like lining up 30 minutes early to get into a stand-up show, which is a bummer. It's very sad.
You're like the grumpy old relative at a wedding,
yeah.
where like everyone's like, oh, they're so happy together. It's like, it's not gonna last. There's nothing good happens.
Oh, great joke. Let's see if he sticks the lid.
You're at the McDonald's next door, just like...
Yeah.
It's also a thing where I feel like when I watch something, like best case scenario for me now when I'm watching a comedy is like I watch a joke or see someone like something whatever, and it's just like, wow, that's something really good that I didn't make, and like I'm like
pure jealousy.
I'll never be able to make that because that person already made it. Like it really is just like disdain for just like people doing really good job and stuff.
I don't
Yeah.
get the jealousy thing, but it's like when there is something that's really good, it's really great that I'm like, oh, I'm not even analyzing this. Like I think the last thing I watched was like probably like Kid Gorgeous, like the John Mulaney special. That's very good. And then weirdly, the Adam Sandler special was also, I don't know, that was like, I
didn't watch that.
I don't know. Like I felt like everyone was ready for that, and then everyone like secretly watched it by themselves when it came out, and everyone was like, it's good, right? I'm having fun. Is everyone else having a lot of fun watching this? But
The cool thing about working in art and comedy is I have twice as many areas and genres to have ruined, and also to be like inexplainably jealous of the success of others in.
yeah.
So like I'll watch like a Steven Universe or like a Spider-Verse and be like, well, shit.
Oh yeah.
Well, fuck. And then I'll watch like a Kid Gorgeous and be like, well, hell. Well, dang.
Aw, dang. You ruined anime for yourself?
Anime, I think, is kind of like the sacred vessel where like there's just like no world where I would ever be working in anime.
Yeah.
Just circumstances. So like I think that it has kind of remained on a pedestal for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Just watch anime. That's the answer.
Guys, we're not going to not talk about anime here.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's because I don't watch comedy anymore. Like people try to get me to, and I like, but I watch like mostly like crime and thrillers and horror.
Me too. I literally.
Like I like drama. I do comedy during the day, so I want to go home and have sadness all night. Just like
I think
murder.
maybe this is different because you do stand up, but like I'm really taken in by like a good comedy performance. Like if somebody can like tell a joke in like a really physical or funny way, someone can fall down real good, I'll still laugh at that.
That's good. Yeah, like a physical gag. I thought you were talking about like very physical stand up, and I'm usually like. Write your jokes or something. Like I was like,
if someone's got like a great trunk full of props, I'm no.
yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you, but I'm not as far out to sea. I definitely find myself like watching a lot more dramas than I used to, and that is the sort of the thing where it's like when like that's the stuff I'll get more excited about. But I don't know. I still. I guess like if I guess I like digging more into the comedy stuff that I maybe before just found like I find that I disdain less is sort of the weird thing because they were asking like, well, what do you disdain now? And now it's just sort of like, okay, well, I can watch something and go like, I don't like that, but I won't get angry about it. It's just like, cool, I don't like that. But it also means that I get excited to see something that if someone's written something or made a piece of comedy that it's like, I would never ever have thought to have done that. I never would have like, whether it's like from different perspectives or just someone's mind is so different from mine that it's like, oh, cool. This is, I'm enjoying this just cause like, and it also takes away some of that jealousy thing. Of like, it's like, I wouldn't have thought to do this. So cool. This is great.
I definitely lost like that like artiste mindset that I had when I was like, idolizing comedy, where it's like if I can see something that makes other people laugh, there is like a respect that I have for it. Yeah. And like Vine compilations, I think are like the highest form of comedy. And like if I was in college, I'd be like, there's no punchline there. It's just someone getting kicked in the balls. I'm like, that's dropping someone's joy. And it's like, cool.
I've totally lost that like that sense of like. I guess like the snootiness of just like that's not real comedy, that's real comedy. Like all that is like it's like the thing that annoys me more than anything else is actually just like seeing other people and specifically like other comedians shit on some type of comedy. It's just like it's such a bad look in my opinion, where it's like I know comedy and you don't. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
There's also something. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was like, I kind of like the stuff that I do enjoy the most, and in general, like even always has been like the weird comedy that is like. It's like you just get to like peek into someone's head where they have their like little like guys dancing around doing like what they think is funny, and there's less and less of that now because like obviously we live in like a hellscape, etc. And so like it's
my favorite cocktail.
Yeah, it's like, but everything we're so deep in the like comedy is a sword thing that's like, it's because it's not. I don't disagree with any of it obviously, but it's like this is not something I don't already think about all day. So. It's not like I love when a joke will be like I've never thought of that in that specific way before, like weird, that weird sort of stuff. Like, but yeah, the other it's like some like stand up. It's like in New York, it's like somebody's going off about gun control, and it's like, dude, we're in Bushwick. We are in. This is a yoga studio during the day. Like, you're not changing any minds here. I don't know why like you're going this diatribe.
Listen, cancel all comedy. Everyone just watch perfectly cut screams on Twitter.
Oh yeah. That's really the best. Vine is great. That is
Vine and anime. That's what we've decided.
Hell yeah.
Vine, 6-second anime. This is the key that we need to create.
My pro tip is newscast fails.
That's good.
There's like a new one every month.
Mwah.
Very good.
It's funny. We've had a similar, like not the same question, but another question that sort of like kind of like tried to like direct the guests towards like, just sort of like thoughts about comedy. It's very funny how many of like with completely different people, how many of the same things popped up. It's just like, I don't know, like I can't talk about politics anymore. But you know what I love seeing? People getting kicked in the balls.
Always funny. Always funny.
Things are eternal.
It's like the mole man,
Man getting hit by a football. Well, we are out of time, so we're gonna wrap it up here. But thank you to Caldwell and Willie and Eli for joining us. If you have a question you want to ask us, you can sign up for Dropout. Go to the Discord. Ask any question you want. We'll try to address it here. And we'll see you next time. Hey, it's Mike Trapp. If you like College Humor and want to support us, sign up for Dropout. For the low price of adding guac to 2 burritos, you'll get videos like this a whole week sooner. To chat with us live in the Dropout Discord, and get exclusive content like WTF 101.
In the ocean there's...
Sign up for your free trial today and learn why critics are saying, "Who are you? Why are you in my house? What the hell is Dropout? Get out. Get out. I'm calling the cops."